Why most trades feel busy but still stuck. As we can see here, guys, I'm just doing a little review on my past sort of 5 to 6 calls that I've been having with people over the last couple of days. Now today, I made about 40 sales calls into the UK, talking with builders, tradies. Obviously, everyone's got the same problem across the board, whether it's New Zealand, Australia, or the UK. And I feel like it's my due diligence and it's my reasoning to bring light to the table and show these are the problems that you need to focus on fixing straight away so you can grow. The number one problem that I literally see is I don't know where my next sort of jobs are going to come from, and I'm super stressed, and how do I get off the tools? I'm not going to sit here and say it's the easiest thing to do in the world. It's not. There certainly is a lot of builders around that are 1 to 2 man bands. Making that strategic jump from a 2 to 3 man band to 4 to 5, having a project manager and you having your time back is probably the hardest yet the easiest transition to make. So as we can see by my beautiful slides that AI has put together here, which only takes me about 25 seconds, that used to probably cost about 4 to 5 hours labor at $50 about a year ago. And another reason why you should all be using ChatGPT and spending at least 1 to 2 hours a week learning how AI works and how you can implement it into your business. Why most trades feel busy but still stuck. I'm sure we've all been there, and I'm a victim myself. Sometimes I sit down at dinner, I'm having my beautiful steak, and I think, shit, what have I actually done today? Have I palmed off the tasks that I shouldn't be doing? Have I been only doing the high value tasks that I should be doing? 5 problems that I see every week on real calls. Here we go, starting with number 1. Now this is actually a super simple fix. So I can show you 2 examples right here. If I literally go into my sheets here, which is a basic CRM tool, I just want to tell you, if you don't want to spend money on apps or CRMs, this is basic. So if you don't want to spend a heap of money on apps, and then it's just managing your leads, like what are you doing? I would suggest just doing, whether it's a morning, an afternoon, or an evening, that you sit down and you go through all of these leads every single day and try and keep it the same every day, so you build a bit of consistency with doing your sales and doing your follow-ups. You're pricing to survive, not to win. The common thing is, oh, I get told I'm too much, or use detailed pricing. So show, for example, this level of detail here. And this is literally going into more detail with your pricing, line by line, showing as many items as you can, and giving your clients sort of more trust and credibility that you know all of your numbers and you know exactly what you're talking about. So another way to overcome this is have Google reviews or have positive case studies. So every single client that you do a job for, big or small, you should be either trying to get something in writing or get a video. So when you submit your pricing, you can back it up with a company profile with some 5-star reviews or some positive stuff that you can put on there to show, oh shit, Harry's actually a good guy. He did work for old Sharon down the road. He got a 5-star review. She said great things. He's a little bit more expensive, but he's got more reviews than this other guy. When I was running Baker's Builds in Auckland, countless times, okay, maybe only a dozen, that someone said to me, hey, you're more expensive, but we love your reviews. We love how fast you are. We love how detailed you are. That won me a ton of business, okay? We want to make sure that we're pricing our proper rates of what we should be doing to make money, because your accountant says if you're not making 18% net profit at the end of the year, you shouldn't be in business. You're better off having a boss, okay? So no rush quotes, no defensive pricing, and remove the fear of losing the job. And if you have enough leads coming in, you build a basic social media strategy, or you can get good on content or double down on your word of mouth stuff, or your retargeting, then you don't need to worry about losing 1 job because you're quoting 10. So you're still a worker and a manager. He just said he's doing everything, all his admins at night. And I said, well, you know, he's got a few things to do. Not a leading hand, but a builder. Or he just needs to find times where he can duck away for 2 to 3 hours and do his admin during the day. If you're still the worker and the manager, now that's a hard transition, but you've got to do everything in your power to go from the worker and the manager to just the manager. You're getting that first main builder hire, and you're realizing that you're not going to make money off him for the first sort of probably 4 to 6 weeks while you're having to mold him into that role, and you can't be doing the high value task, which brings in more business, because you're still having to mold him in. But if you can get in the habit of molding him in quicker, get him doing that role, and you can free your time up by 20 hours a week. And if you can do an additional 20 hours of sales or strategic outreach or better pricing, then you can win more jobs at higher margin and make more money. And then he's a return on investment, not a liability, okay? So you don't know your real numbers. KPIs and checking your numbers is one of the biggest things that builds like data within your business. If you're quoting and invoicing everything out of zero, if you're pricing everything out of a spreadsheet, literally you can dump everything into ChatGPT to give you your numbers for the whole sort of week. I check all my analytics across social media platforms every single week, see which posts are performing best, which is shit, what needs tweaking, where the majority of my leads are coming in on, and then I double down on that area. So for example, we just ran like a 31 days of newsletter tips and tricks campaign. Most of you guys would have got that. You know, that for us was only sort of $7 to $8.50 a lead. We got about 100, and that gives us about 100 to however many opportunities to either A, upskill you guys on something and sell you something which is going to benefit your business, or B, we can hit you with retargeting later. But we know the ROI on our ad spend, so it should be the same thing on your business. You should know what your average profit margin is on a deck, on a new build, on a renovation, an extension. You should know where all your leads come from. You should know where you're leaking money. You should be back costing the majority of your projects, or at least 1 in 5, so you can get an idea for future pricing. So get in the habit of knowing your numbers, get savvy on Excel, or just download ChatGPT, dump all your data into it every single week if you can track that data, or get a VA for $9.50 an hour, get them to track all your data, and they give you a report at the end of the week, okay? You know your turnover, not profit, cash flow, or target. So you need to know all of these items, okay? Super simple to put into an Excel. Know your monthly turnover, how often it comes in weekly, and then work out over the course of your business, you'll know what your profit margin is per job and per month based on revenue. And then you know what you can reinvest into certain people, what your next best strategic play is, whether it's freeing yourself up off the tools, so hiring a better builder or a VA, or you need to get more leads, so you need to invest into marketing, or you can do some retargeted marketing, etc., etc., okay? You're guessing week to week, no plan, no 90-day target, just reacting. So something that I offer here is I will help you build out a 90 and 180-day roadmap, and we will implement systems to get you to your goals. So if that's something that you're interested in, hit the link below. But the biggest thing is obviously having a bit of a battle plan, knowing what you need to do month on month, week on week, day on day, and just compounding on those small efforts. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. Let me know if any of those problems relate with you. I'm sure they do, but that's what I'm hearing every single day from the majority of builders. And those problems can be fixed. So keep watching my content. You don't have to like and subscribe, but I'd love it if you would. Thank you very much.